I can pull up to the city side, that's the tricky side where they let the big side, probably tryna get me tied up. Ain't no dirty guy, that's the boy fired up. Hold up, wait, 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 hold up, wait. Walking in the spirit, you know it get tricky behind us. They both the smoke and kill them, then we get the vibe, bro. I know that you hear that Kirk when the music start up, that's me paying respect to a legend. I know some people don't like it, but I did a song with an E got to be, that's a legend. Let me teach you a lesson back when I was counting my blessings. The radio told me stressing my faith, the questions around it by haters and yes, but God me turning the looking at style, I'm like, hold up, can you please get my spirit and soda? I get stressed from the sound like I'm solar, so I told them to take the controller. I know people like bring back the rebel crate, get behind me, that's something the devil say. If you love me, who I'm becoming, I wake up and follow God every day. They say that you change if you grow up, they do. The money sometimes people slow, but when you get poppin' and show up, that's why I be looking like, hold up, wait, can't eat off my plate. You a taste. No, I can pull up to the city side, that's the tricky side where they let the big side, probably tryna get me tied up. Ain't no dirty guy, that's the boy fired up. Hold up, wait, 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 hold up, wait. Walking in the spirit, you know it get tricky behind us. They both the smoke and kill them, then we get the vibe, bro.
Tonight. Like how you gonna live as a Christian? Like how you gonna live out a mission? Like how you gonna roll through the city and pray for the homeless but not for the wicked? Sitting in the pew as a Christian, I would look up like y'all so religious. I like this is for me, I admit it. I said this is for me, I admit it. Had some brothers who smoking the dank. I can't judge them, I know that I can't. Cause I looked at my mama with hate. I made all my music for me and promoted it so I could blow it one day. And God told me throw it away. Like people was passing the J. Went to college, he changed my life. 22 and I'm living for Christ. And I'm about to marry my wife. And I ain't gon' marry her twice. I ain't rapping to put on the ice. Talking PB, we rolling the dice. Never loud on my head like lights. But I gave him a heavenly swipe. I don't need my name in lights. I'm just riding through the city in a focus. No cap, I was going through the motions. Yeah, the devil saying do something bogus. I can't do that. I used to lust on them women until I found out where the truth at. Whenever you look at my life, you should see that is right. You should see where the fruit at. There's all they wanted to look at. I was in middle school packing my book bag. This is my story, don't ask for my book at. I was just trying to fit in with the cool cats. I got my brothers, we rode through the city. It felt like my music had 2 fans. Back in the week, they was all trying to hit. Had a chip on their shoulder like Cool Ranch. I cannot give in, I'ma be who I'm made. Yeah, the industry wants you to change. Can't sell my heart to the game. I got loyalty deep in my veins. I bet. Think about life right now, I'm thankful. God so great, you could always say thank you. I was on the quest trying to pray for things. For the team a little bit, I'm great. I was so anxious. My heart would just beat, no patience. Until my mind started changing. I remember when my mama was fired. I remember when my daddy was fired. I remember moving so many times. God always kept the family alive. I tried to live with the weight on my back. Had too much on me, I cracked. I ain't tryna go back. I'll admit that. Like how you gonna live as a Christian? Like how you gonna live out a mission? Like how you gonna roll through the city and pray for the homeless but not for the wicked? Used to sit in the pew as a Christian. I would look up like y'all so religious. I like this is for me, I admit it. I said this is for me, I admit it.
All that talking useless. Don't need no excuses. Shortcuts for the foolish. Only one way to do this. Put in work. 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 Sweat on free shirt. Had to get it up there. Put in work. Put in work. Put in work. Put in work. Just taking off the flight. Ain't no days taking off the price. Checks running up. That's the Another step, another flex. Hey, got me another test. Grade opposite of an F. Legendary with the game. Flip fresh from the range. Switch in the lane. Shots up, no change. They ain't never gon' change. Let your neck go change. Ain't backing down from no pain. Watch rinse repeat, now no gain. Keep my focus on rings. And raise the trophies post game. On dark nights go bang. Then all of a sudden go bang. Yeah, I gotta go get it. If my fire's a problem, then get out of the kitchen. All my partners is with it. No facade, no diction. If we talk it, we did it. So I don't believe none of you blah blah. You kidding? All that talking useless. Don't need no excuses. Shortcuts for the foolish. Only one way to do this. Put in work. 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 Sweat on from your shirt, had to get it off the dirt, Put in work. Put in work. Put in work. Put in work.
What up, my folks? My man, Swoop, reminding us to put in work. It's that favorite time, my favorite time of the week, my favorite time of the month. Hey, my folks, I'm ecstatic tonight because it's your favorite crazy coach, Coach Ray, of the Flow with Coach Ray, heard only on Fishbowl Radio Network, and also you can stream us live on YouTube via the Flow with Coach Ray. Man, I tell you, where sports and life collide, tonight is a special night. It's a special night, folks. I tell you, I have a special guest in studio with me. And a wise person once told me that good things happen during hard times and bad moments. And I tell you what, this young lady coming to the show tonight represents the greatest thing, the greatest gift that I could ever receive in my life. She represents all the good in me. I tell you that, and I mean it from the bottom of my heart. I get to watch her grow on a regular basis. I get to watch her excel on the basketball court. I get to watch her excel in the classroom. Man, just in life in general. And I'm ecstatic to bring in class of 2025, shooting guard, combo guard, representing an amazing class of talented female athletes that are going to carry the game far, very far. When I tell you, folks, the game is in good hands, the game is in good hands. And you know, throughout this show, I get a chance to be biased because this player is close to me. And I see the work that she puts in on and off the court. I get a chance to bring forth an amazing young athlete that is really going to not only represent the game of basketball, bring a whole new life on how the women's game is looked upon, but also this young lady is going to be an amazing leader. I see it on the court, I see it off the court, I see it every day in her life. And who I'm talking about, class of 2025, representing Grace Prep Academy, the lovely Raya Ray. What up, Raya? How you doing?
Good.
Oh, my goodness. Stop the press. We up in here, baby. It's go time. I hope you're ready. You ready?
Indeed.
Indeed. Now, you know what? I get to do life with you on a regular basis. And Raya, man, I'm just blown away to have you here tonight. And look, man, you represent one of the top classes, class of 2025, ladies' game of basketball. Man, your group is really making an impact on the basketball court right now. And I'm not just talking, what I'm talking about is on a varsity level, class of 2025, really making a difference. I'm talking about freshmen making an impact on a varsity level right now. And I get the chance to do life with you, and we gonna dive into your freshman year, kid. Hey, man, how's it going so far? How's Grace Prep?
It's going good. There are some up and down moments, but we come together as a team and we work through it. So it's going good so far.
Awesome.
District's coming up, so we're getting ready for that.
You getting ready for district?
Yeah.
Uh-oh, man, I know it's our favorite time of the year. You know, Christmas time is around the corner, and a lot of basketball tournaments are taking place. You know, you guys are finishing up the season. before your winter break. And man, how's the season been so far? As coming in as a freshman, playing on the varsity level. What is the biggest difference with junior high and varsity?
The difference between junior high and varsity is that junior high, you play against good talent. You do play against good talent in junior high, but varsity, it's just faster and it's just different. And I think the difference is the mental side. If you're not mentally right, it doesn't matter how many times you shoot or put in work, then you're not going to be good for the game.
And man, you are speaking 100% straight up truth. The mental side of the game is the biggest. You point on that being one of the biggest differences between varsity and junior high. And man, on the show where sports and life collide, Raya, one of the things that we've been able to do this season, we've been able to dive into the women's game, we've been able to dive into the men's game, and also just every other sport that's going on in the DFW Metroplex. And I'm coming off of this past weekend, and speaking of the class of 2025, last year you had an opportunity to take part in the Eyeball Showcase, the second annual Eyeball Showcase that took place up in Plano. This year, just this past weekend, we had the third annual Eyeball Nation Showcase in Mansfield Fieldhouse. And we got a chance to have about 200 kids come up, man. And I shared that with you last year, the impact that Eyeball had for that class of 2025 freshman girls, because all of you guys are playing varsity basketball. And it speaks volume to, number one, the movement of Eyeball Nation being able to spotlight and showcase the talent that's in the area. But number two, it just speaks volume about that class, And this past weekend, we had the third annual Eyeball Nation Showcase in Mansfield. And bro, when I tell you, it was amazing folks out there. It was amazing. We got a chance to bring in Hot Sauce from N1, and he was able to impact so many kids' lives. Shout out to Pylon Pivot, who was one of our major sponsors, and also Liberty Proclaim Ministry. And Raya, man, you missed out. You missed out this year on an amazing showcase, but you got to take part in the showcase last year. And what did it mean for you as a player to take part in an event like that?
It meant a lot to see where I was from the other girls in my class. What I had to improve on was the most that I took away from that, and seeing how we all played together and how of a good relationship that we all have together. It's really cool. Even though we go up against each other on the court, off the court, you can see the chemistry that we have, and then it just translates on the court.
And you're actually, girl, hey, look here, man. You know all the right answers, huh?
Indeed, I do.
Indeed, I love it. Now, one of the things that I've been able to watch as a dad from the stands, I got to ask you this. Is it hard being a coach's kid? Let's just get the elephant out of the room. Is it hard being a coach's kid?
No, not really. I'm just a regular kid. I've probably just been around basketball more than other kids. And I don't mind it. It's cool. I like it.
Look, thank you. And you know what? I see the spotlight shining on you. You know all the right answers when the spotlight is on you, huh? I can tell you, folks, I don't know whose kid this is, but at the same time, man, yeah, I love it. But you're being a coach's kid. Is there pressure on you pertaining to, expectations of the game?
No, I think the biggest thing is, I have expectations for myself, and when I'm on the court, I'm a perfectionist, and so if I don't see myself in the way I want to see myself, I get hard on myself, and I get in my head, and that affects the way I play. But being a coach's kid, not really, because being a coach's kid basically means you just have an extra pair of eyes that watch you, and they see your mistakes, and they work through it with you, and that helps a lot.
Now, you know what? I'm glad you spoke on that. Because of the fact that, recently, you and I, we're movie buffs. Some of the things that people don't know is, outside of basketball, we really, really, really cut up. We really cut up, and we work on our bond. through comedy and through documentaries. And one of the things that I love about watching you as a player is that you're a student of the game. You study, and you know random facts that I don't know where you get it from, but I can remember being your age and just being a consumer of all sports. Now, we recently watched a movie, King Richard Williams, okay? A lot of the flack you weren't able to see firsthand because you were growing up. But a lot of the stuff that he went through, people called him crazy, okay? People, like, ridiculed him because he had a dream and he had expectations for his daughters. One of the things that he shared with his daughters was there's nothing more powerful than a woman that can think. You know, regardless of how good you are in a trade or a skill, if you're not understanding of how powerful you are with your mind, and if you're not applying it, then that power is useless. You know, and Richard often faced flack for how he was boisterous, you know, in his actions. And also another person, another dad, where I'm going to with this, you know I'm long-winded, I'm going to get to it, where I'm going with also LeVar Ball was another dad that faced a lot of ridicule.
I mean, all of his kids are successful, so it must have been worth it.
And you know what? And that's where I got to ask you this. So I'm learning how to find, there's a thin line between father and a coach. Now, I shared with you as you went into varsity, as you went to high school, that I was going to take a step back from coaching you as far as in-game scenarios, on the sideline, walking the sideline. And now I get the chance to see you from a spectator standpoint. Like, do you ever at times, hopefully this is not a tough question, but do you ever, when I celebrate, does it ever bother you when you hear me celebrating or trying to encourage you in the game? I got to ask you this. I have to. And be real.
That's a good question. I would say not really. I try not to think about it, and I just try to stay focused in the game. But sometimes when I feel myself slipping, when you encourage me, it definitely helps mentally.
Man, because you know I have to check myself, because I never want to get in. I told myself I would never get in the way of your growth or make the spotlight about me. And one thing that I strive to do is make sure that the spotlight is on you, because it's your time to shine. You know what I'm saying? And it gives me to be able to, the growth that I've seen out of you so far. One of the things that I love about you as a player, you use your abilities to make everyone around you better. And you guys are a young team. Everybody's starting to gel together. What is it like? What is the atmosphere like playing for Coach Casey Boyd and also Coach Gia Perkins over at Grace Prep? Talk to me about that.
The atmosphere is very good. It's very positive. You know, they're always encouraging us to get better, and they see things that we don't see. And so having Coach Boyd as our head coach and having Coach Gia Perkins, a retired WNBA player, as our assistant coach is cool, because, you know, every time that Coach Boyd says something and it gels in for us, Coach Perkins always sees something that Coach Boyd doesn't always see. And it's cool to see how they work together and how they affect our team in a positive way.
I love it, man. And teamwork, I tell people all the time here on the Flow with Coach Ray, and you know this, you're as strong as you are on the court as you are off the court based off of the team that you have around you. And I want to dive into some of your personal goals for the next 4 years. You know, well, let's dive into it. What, from an academic standpoint, over the next 4 years, what are some of your goals? My
goals are to get all A's and be a part of National Honor Society, and to affect my school in a positive way academically, and to make an impact and be a leader for younger kids that are coming up when I'm a senior. Yeah.
I love it, man. And talk to me. I got. You're lucky I don't have my drum roll right now, but drum roll, please. Talk to me about those grades right now, because I know we are going into winter break, and a lot of kids, They're going in their final tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Talk to me about those grades. What we looking like right now?
I have all A's and a high B, which I will work harder next semester to make it all A's.
Man, look at here. Look here. And as this is not a coach, but as a father, hey, I am proud of you. Good job. Keep working. And it's definitely a testament to your work ethic. You know, you talked about expectations, your personal expectations. You know, you talked about that earlier on. Okay. Over the next 4 years, what are some of your personal expectations from an athletic standpoint? What are some of your goals?
Some of my goals is to make my teammates better, make my team better, of course, win state, and when I'm a senior and I'm done with high school, I just want to be remembered as a good person than a basketball player. Like, if I leave my school and I'm just remembered as a good basketball player, then it's not a good thing.
Well, you know what, man, and this is, you are really making an impact on the world around you, and little do you know, I always share with you that you never know when someone is watching, and that your body language and your energy is contagious. And you actually got one of your former colleagues tuning in right now, Michael from Harmony Junior High. Well, he went to Harmony School with you, and right now he's playing for Bowie JV team, and he wants to know, what do you do to take the pressure off yourself? What do you do to keep yourself from getting too hard on yourself after you make a mistake? This goes out for Mike.
Something that I do, I just try to think of the next play, because if I'm focused on my mistake and I'm pouting, basically, then I'm not getting back on defense, and then that leads to, because there are 5 people on the court at all times. There's 5 people on one team, and there's 5 people on another. And so if I'm not down the court helping my teammates, then it's 4 against 5, and then somebody's open, and then it's my fault. And so I just try to stay out of my head. It's nothing that you can do right away. It's more of a process that you just have to tell yourself that you're a good player, and that everybody, like, I try to tell myself every time I'm on the court, I'm the best player on the court, and that helps me a lot. And so if I feel myself getting into a mental breakdown, I just calm and I breathe. And then I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Jesus is alive in my heart, and then that helps a lot.
Man, I tell you what, Big Mike. Hey, look, that advice right there. Hey, can't get no better than that. You said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Jesus is alive in your heart, and you calm down. Mm-hmm. Where'd you learn that from?
My dad.
Oh, golly, man.
Yeah.
I think I need to start applying some of that. Hey, can you set up an interview with your dad so I can call him and get some feedback and ask him what I can do?
I mean, he's a really busy guy.
Yeah?
But you can try.
Okay, well, you know what? We're going to work on that right now. My folks, I tell you, it's a special night tonight. It's all, we up in here. It's your favorite crazy coach. I got class of 2025 combo guard Raya Ray of Grace Prep Academy. Hey, she's in the building with me. We got to catch up with Uncle Coach Todd Shelton as well. Y'all know where he is. He's somewhere in a gym around the country. But we're going to come back and we're going to catch up with Coach Todd Shelton. And I got my shooter up in the building with me. Hey, don't go anywhere. Here's Andy Mimio.
Worse. It could be worse, it could be worse. Yeah, I hit the gym, just opened up again, Reza, he loaded me up with 2 plates. Then I went home, baby, she made me a meal, she loaded me up with 2 plates. Trip on a whip, registered that in GA, I had to go get me new plates. I bought a crib, had to move out of New York, I'm really enjoying the space. Trip on the stick, pray that I don't gotta use it, but I got it in just in case. You know what it is, people be talking online, but never say that to my face. Look at my wrist, ain't nothing on it just yet, everything got its time in this place. If they throw a fit, when you tell them no, that's how you know they ain't respect you off rip. Man, it's a trip, but hey, it could be worse. Say it again for them in the back so they know for sure it could be worse. Life is hard, I thank God it could be worse. Life is hard, I thank God it could be worse. Way worse. Look, it could be worse. Used to be scared of the first. I used to pack up the merch, go do the show. Had to put square on my That it didn't come with no perks. Hey, what's the verse? Come to me all over thirsty. Got living water for sure. Mom was a nurse, had a whole life in the purse. Might get a face on the shirt. Taking the waiter right to the table. She asked me what do I want for dessert. I told her surprise me, ain't much surprise me, man. All of my heels be wildin', man. Look at what happened to Cosby, man. Look at what happened to Robbie, damn. Nah, tryna make sure that it's not me, man. Whole life monogamy, man. How I'ma run when temptation come, it got me, man. Hey, it could be worse. It could be worse. Life is hard. It could be worse. Life is hard. I thank God it could be worse.
Wait.
I love that he called me up and told me that he met this beautiful girl. And when I heard him talking about her, I started crying because...
Back here live on the floor with Coach Ray. That's my man Andy Mineo reminding us that it can be worse. And I tell you what, folks, if you're listening to this, if you're above ground, guess what? We're winning. And I tell you, it is a season where we need to recollect and understand that we are blessed. We are truly blessed. And I definitely want to remind you guys of how amazing and awesome opportunity of life that you have, because at the end of the day, someone that you don't even know might have it worse than you. And I'll tell you what, we definitely, on the show, The Flow with Coach Ray, where sports and life collide, we definitely want to send our condolences and prayers out to the state of Kentucky and also Tennessee. And I'm joined by Raya Ray of the class of 2025, Grace Prep combo guard freshman playing varsity right now. And Raya, man, we saw some devastating turn of events with the tornadoes that recently touched down in Kentucky and Tennessee, man. When you see things like that, before we went to break, I talked to you about some of your goals as from an academic standpoint over the next 4 years, and also from an athletic standpoint over the next 4 years. But from a after you graduate high school, or even before, what are some of your goals from a humanistic standpoint? What do you want to do with your platform? We see something like this taking place in Kentucky, a natural disaster, like, how do you feel? It's a two-part question. What do you want to do with your life after you graduate high school? But how do you also feel, with those that are using their platforms to help during natural disasters like this? How important is that for you?
I think it's really important because you never know who's watching you, like you said. And I think that seeing players like me that's been in my situation before help other people so they don't fall into the same mistakes that they made, I think that's a big part of how the generation after us can get better. And I think that some of my goals after high school would definitely be to go to college, and after college I want to do broadcasting. I would like to be on ESPN. I like watching sports a lot, and it's just fun to talk about them.
So do you think athletes have a platform where they can raise awareness and change the environment?
Yeah, definitely.
And who are some of your athletes who are some of the leaders that you look up to that are making a huge impact today?
Definitely Candace Parker. I look at LeBron James, Steph Curry. He just broke the record. He passed. Ray Allen.
Oh my
passed
goodness.
Ray Allen, and seeing him, because I remember watching him in the finals, and he was shooting good. And I don't think he got finals MVP the first time that they went to the finals, but now if they do go to the finals, he's definitely going to be MVP. And I think that all that hard work that he's put in just to be able to live in that one moment definitely paid off for him.
So you talked about Steph being somebody that influenced you. What about on the WNBA side? You talked about Candace Parker. Who are some of the other WNBA athletes that you are encouraged or inspired by?
Sabrina Ionescu, of course. She's the last person that Kobe Bryant got to train, and seeing how she carries his legacy every day, and how she helps everybody that she can, and how she's affecting girls basketball for the better is awesome to watch.
Now, man, I know that one of your, speaking of Sabrina Ionescu continuing the legacy of Kobe Bryant, I know that we always talk about, you know, the legacy that in the short span of time Gigi was able to have on the game. And I got to ask you this, you know, with you being a freshman, what do you think about being in a position of leadership as a young player? You know, do you think young players can help lead a team?
Definitely, I had to step up tremendously to lead my team because I'm the youngest player on my team, and being a freshman on varsity and being the only freshman in starting five, it means a lot. But I also know that there's like younger kids watching me, and so I want them to see how I do, and I want them to learn from my mistakes and be better than me.
I love it. And what did Gigi? What did you like about Gigi? And what part of her game are you trying to carry on with you?
I like how she was a good teammate before anything else, and how she always put her team first, and she always made the right decisions. Like, she could have just been like, oh yeah, I'm Kobe Bryant's daughter, and she could have dropped like 30 points a game, but she wanted to make sure that her teammates around her had confidence. And so seeing that and trying to do that, it definitely helps a lot.
Man, I tell you, girl, look here. Man, so last night, we got to jump back on the Lakers. Last night, you know we are in the Metroplex. The Lakers come back to town. We go up against the Dallas Mavericks, okay? Austin Reeves, rookie, hits a game-winning three-point jumper. 107-104, the last final seconds of overtime. Man, I can remember, and I'm not sure if you remember, but I got a chance to watch him against TCU Horned Frogs, Des Baines' senior year, his last game, OU, and he torched them. He torched them. Then he came back the following year, did the same thing to TCU. So when the Lakers got him, I knew that they had a certified bucket, a certified go-getter. Now, the fact that he hit a game winner as a rookie, that speaks volume. Have you ever been in that situation where pressure's on the line, and what does it feel to take that shot? Ooh, I got her. I knew I was going to get her. Yes! Yes, pressure.
I mean, for pressure, I think that pressure only gets to you if you let it get to you. But I read it in a book, the Kevin Garnett book, and he said, okay, pressure is something that we all face, but as long as you don't let it get to you, then you're good. Like, okay, pressure, I know that you're there, but I'm not going to let you become me. And so I tried to do that when I'm on the court. And it works 99% of the time, and then that 1%, it's just not, it's not good.
You know, man, you know that 1% can, we try to avoid that 1% moment from time to time.
Yeah.
You know, one of the ways we talked about earlier about giving back, you know, with our platform. And as your father, this is your father talking, okay, not Coach Ray. All right, as your father, I always see you partake in Nancy Lieberman charity organization's summer camp every summer. What does it mean to you to be able to be a part of something so amazing, to be able to work with a Hall of Famer like Nancy Lieberman and be able to give back to students?
I mean, it means a lot to see that she's taking time out of her day to get to know kids like me and teach them and guide them. You know, she's a multi-millionaire. She can just be at home, sitting down on the couch, watching TV, but she's giving back, and it's really cool to see how she just takes her mistakes and she tells us what to do, and how she makes everybody around her better, and she's always positive.
And you know what was some of the advice that she shared with you? Now, I wasn't able to. This is the only time, folks. Look here, America. This is the only time that I can eavesdrop and be a sneak peek and little dive into the world of Lady T, okay? Because anytime you get a sit down or you get a conversation with Lady Magic, you got to listen, okay? But this is the only time I can get a little piece of advice. So, Raya, in talking with Lady Magic, what was one of the things that she spoke on pertaining to fear?
Respect everybody but fear nobody. That was the biggest thing that I took away from going to her camp.
Okay, respect everybody but fear nobody. What does that mean to you, though?
I think that means that off the court, like, I definitely want to respect everybody that I can. I definitely want to make sure that I'm a good leader and I'm a good kid at the most part. But when I get on the court, now there's no friends on the basketball court. And so that's something that I just took away from me. And it definitely helps this season.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah? Have you found yourself having any shell shock moments? Like, I can't believe I'm really playing varsity?
Yeah, I remember being a 6th grader and I remember thinking, oh my gosh, when I go to varsity, when I'm a freshman, I'm going to make the varsity team, I'm going to have an impact. And I'm gonna be the face of my school, and I'm gonna make sure that everybody around me knows who I am and they respect me. And so being able to do that, it means a lot.
Man, you're speaking things into existence. I love it. And when that pertaining to mental, why is being able to speak things into existence important for a basketball player?
That's a good question. Being able to, what was the question?
Speak things into existence. There are times where we have to speak and remind ourselves. Some of the things that I do as a player, as a coach, as a radio host, I always remind myself I have a purpose. I have a purpose. So, I try to remind myself verbally and speak things into existence. Today, I'm going to do this. I'm going to be the best representation that I can be, and what that does for me, it reminds me to allow myself to remove the person from purpose. You know what I'm saying? So being able to speak from my standpoint, you got to be able to see things, and the power of the tongue, being able to talk it out, it comes to life. Believe it or not. And you talked about just what Nancy has been able to provide for you through her leadership. One of the beautiful things that comes from working at camps and organizations through basketball is you get to meet people. You get to meet players that have come and gone, that have come before you. And man, you were able to take on a mentor from Nancy's camp this season. Speak to me about who that person is and what she means to you.
The person, what she means to me, she means a lot to me. She definitely helps me mentally. And to see somebody like me that's going through the things that I'm going through at a college level, it means, like, I'm not the only one out there that struggles mentally. And so being able to have somebody that supports me as much as she does, it means a lot.
And the person that we're talking about, my bad for not even popping the top, Morgan Linehan, shooting guard of Midwestern State up in Wichita Falls. And man, talk to me, you recently had a career high, okay? And folks, this is one of the things about being a coach's kid. She often hears, what you got, when I played, I got this was my career high, and this is my career high. The beautiful thing about being a coach's kid, and for me, is that I get to pour into her and see her grow. And there is competition between us. I hold her to a high expectation, and I tell her, man, numbers, records are made to be broken. Between you and I hold the record for this. But now, you hold the record for most points scored in the game.
Yeah.
And talk to me about that. What's your career high, kid?
28, but I wouldn't say that's my career high because I'm not done, and I know that I have more to give. So
Look here, 28 points. And man, what was it like? What was the secret behind you getting that career high that night?
the day before I talked to Morgan and I asked how she dealt with everything mentally, and when she's on the court, how does she pick herself up and make sure that she's a good representation of her school, and how she just stays out of her head. And she gave me really good advice, and she told me you can't linger on to the last play. Mistakes happen, you just got to move on from it, and mistakes are how you get better. And so just thinking like that when I went into the game, it definitely helped a lot.
Now, man, you guys go up against who's your opponent tomorrow night?
Fort Worth Christian.
Fort Worth Christian. Ooh, what time y'all play?
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock. Where y'all playing at again?
Grace Prep.
Grace Prep, the House of the Lion, huh? Mm-hmm. Now, look here. What's one of the things, I'm going to put this out there, we got to speak things into existence, okay? What's one of the things that you told me pertaining to playing at home? Why is it so important?
You got to defend home court.
You got to defend home court.
You know, we took a L on Tuesday, and just going back to school the next day and hearing, oh, wow, y'all really lost on home court, it stung a lot. And I will do my best, but I'm not losing on home court again.
I love that. I love that. I love that. I love that. The way to speak it into existence. Now, you're one of the hardest working kids that I know. And not just because I'm your dad, okay? But what piece of advice can you give? Because I always joke around with you about going back to when you first started, and oh my God, wow, proof is in the pudding. When you work, great things happen. But what's some of the advice that you would give to the up-and-coming young ladies that are playing the game, similar to that to which Morgan has given to you?
Stay in your lane because you might miss your exit. That's something that my parents always tell me. Don't focus on what other people are doing around you. You know, my mom, she always tells me that, you know, there's always somebody that works harder than you, that's faster, that's smarter, that's stronger than you, but they're not you. So I just try to remember that all the time.
I love it. I love it. And you know what? You started off with some a T. Shelleyism. You know, Coach Todd Shelton. And we got to catch up with him coming up the first half of this show. And, man, that T. Shelleyism, what was the T. Shelleyism that you shared with us again?
Stay in your lane because you might miss your exit.
Oh, man, baby. That's sweet shin music right there. Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane so you don't miss your blessing and your exit. And I tell you what, folks, we got a great show tonight. Raya, when you come back, man, hey, I love it. We got to dive into some juicy tea. You know, I know you like music, and most recently, one of your favorite artists got their bachelor's degree or master's degree from Texas Southern. You know, as far as fulfilling and sticking out, she proved that, hey, when you got a goal, you got to finish. You got to finish. You got to finish. And I want to dive into you about the importance of a lot of our athletes nowadays signing with HBCU teams and colleges of that nature to bring a spotlight back on the HBCU schools, okay? I want to get your take on it, Rye. But right now, this is Lecrae with Zaytoven. Get back right.
I had to get back right. Lost my cool. Got dirt on my shoes. When you got real power, you can't get back right. Get back right. Top down, head back. Ride by, beast on Fairfax. I wanna hear trap. I play Rick James when I'm mid-traffic. I've been doing this since 5th grade. I've been doing this since I've been saved. I've been rock crowds on a big stage. I've been made hits with some big names. Bought a Mercedes for my baby mama. VIP rockin' Dolce & Gabbana. I went to the Grammys and I took my mama. Bottles on bottles on bottles. And my Models on models on models and dollars on dollars. Yeah, that don't help me when my soul when I holler and I'm feeling the pain and I'm dealing with drama. That's too deep. Guess I better fall back. Make this work. I'm getting it. You should've won hard. They told us don't work in the summer. I told them I'm working on something. I'm waving my banner, no propaganda. While you flexing in your Panamera. Right. Get back 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 right. Lost my cool. Got dirt on my shoes. When you got real power, you can't move. Get back right. Get back right. I already stressed out. Pray more. Nigga, stretch my case out. I've been doing this since you was like Ultra on the web. Playing with your Legos. But I don't cap my rap facts. Don't take the stats. You and your squad versus me and my guy. Look, bro, you ain't finna win that now. Was a season when I thought that I had fell off. Then I sat back like you crazy, boy, you know you well off. Everything I had was funny. Big sign on the side, I was doing it. No chance, you could see who was in it. At the mall, I was pinching my pennies. In the beginning, Jimmy Jazz for the clothes. TV Johnny for the gold. That was the goal. Never cared about my soul. I can't wait till I get old. I'm on these hold up. Wait a minute, new beginnings. I was down and I'm winning. I know who did it and I don't forget it. You know I'm still about the family business. I gotta get back. Get back right. 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 I had to get back right. Get back right. Lost my cool. Got dirt on my shoes. When you got real power, you can't move. Get back right. Get back right.
Jay Tobin checking in. Jay and Lecrae, kingdom business. Believe that. All gas, no brakes. Yeah, we going full force with it. Believe that. Let the trap say amen. Yeah.
Tell me why they all hating on me. Cause it's God over money on my whole team. I banged out with the shoe is my OG. And I don't really know how to be low key. Logo on my chest like what it do. We them followers of Christ, tell me what it do. And if you're not one, we can still kick it. But I might preach to you, I'm just being real with it. Christ said you gotta love them when they front too. Your love measured by the hate you can love too. And if Christ at the cross for the same was to put him there and die for his killers, he can love you. He the boss, I be on my jail. The way I do it, got him aiming at my halo. The truth hurt, but it do work. Until you met him, you can never know your true worth. I keep it 100. Some of y'all love it, some of y'all don't, but I ain't finna change nothing. G.O.M. We gon' keep it coming. If it's hating, you the only one that does it. Homie, you can hate me, but you ain't getting no head back. You get no head back. Homie, you can hate me, but you ain't getting no head back. Cause all the hating in the world won't make me a hater. All the hating in the world won't make me a hater. All the hating in the world won't make me a hater.
Back here live on the floor with Coach Ray, my man Bizzle bringing us back in. It's the second half of the show, my folks, and I tell you what, it's your favorite crazy coach where sports and life collide. I'm joined. Folks, we found him. First in the studio, I got my girl Raya Ray, combo guard of class of 2025, Grace Prep Academy in the building with me. But guess what? Raya, where you at? Where you at, Raya?
Yes.
Yeah, we found him, girl. We found him. We've been on a hot tail of the yellow man himself, Coach Todd Shelton. Where you at, baby?
What I do? I'm in the booming metropolis of Abilene, Texas. But you know what? You know what I think about? Back when I was like in Schneckenberger Elementary in Kenner, Louisiana, there was this one of my favorite girl games. Where in the world is Carmen San Diego? There we go.
Yes.
Abilene, Texas.
You're in Abilene, Texas. Coach, what you doing out there?
Watching a little college basketball. So last night I watched the ACU Wildcats who, upset the University of Texas, I think last year in the NCAA tournament. Beat somebody, yeah. And then they played Cal State Bakersfield last night. And then tonight I'm watching some D3 basketball. Hardin Simmons University, who just broke in the D3 top 25 last week. versus the University of Ozarks. Travis Carruthers, who actually used to be at the University of Texas of Dallas, is the coach. So I was here last night, decided to stay extra night, watch some D3 basketball. Tomorrow, waking up, driving to Kansas, Lawrence, and watching the Jayhawks and Stephen F. Austin on Saturday. There we go. How you love that?
Look at you. How you love that? You see that, Ryan? That's what the game could do for you, huh? Uncle Todd is, man, and look, everywhere. Now, Ryan, man, you were looking forward to having Uncle Todd Shelton on the show, right?
Yeah.
What are some of the things that you want to ask him pertaining to the game of basketball and how you can use this game to further your opportunities? Yeah, you got the spotlight. It's on you. Uncle Todd is on the.
In the words of Yellow Beezy, that's what Yellow Beezy said. It's on you, baby. I think that was Yellow Beezy, right?
Yeah, I think he said that's on me, baby. But yeah, that's on you, baby.
Yeah, no, but I remixed it because it can't be on me if it's on her asking the questions. Anyway,
It is.
don't worry
On
about
you,
that.
baby. Oh, she got the dead air. So, Uncle Todd, man.
So let me tell you, I had a talk with Hardin Simmons, coach today, and a debate just going on in life. I think, Ryan, what, a freshman? Is she a freshman?
Yes, sir.
So this is what I'll tell you, because I had this talk today about, say, somebody left their Hot Wheels out here, man. This is so bad. This is like a nice little Hot Wheel. Anyway, just about life, you know, I tell people run their own race. Like, I was having a talk with this parent who got mad at me and because I said, you know, college coaches don't care about freshmen right now. And they don't. Right now, the college coaches are trying to win. And so a freshman doesn't need to right now be marketed. What a freshman needs to do is go to class, be a good person, keep working on their game, right? Run your race because, you know, there's people right now, freshmen, that have offers that won't have those offers in, you know, November. And I tell people yesterday was signing day, right? That's the only day that the offer matters. Because if you can't sign something before your, you know, November of your senior year, December, and then I think it's another late signing period in April, if I'm not mistaken. But, you know, so you just got to run your own race. And I always tell people, like right now I'm at a D3 basketball game. And I tell people, you know, D3 is based a lot on academics. And some of these D3 kids are going to be the CEOs of PepsiCo and you know, American Airlines and stuff like that because the ball will eventually, like, stop bouncing for everybody at some point. So I always tell people, use basketball, don't let it use you. It's not about D1 or D3, it's about D3. So long as you get the education paid for, I tell people when you get your diploma, they don't put that you scored 13 points a game with that diploma. It says Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Science or whatever it says, and that's what it's about. So I tell, you know, the young folks, man, you know, run your own race because, you know, you'll have more years not playing basketball to be successful than you will playing basketball.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
There we go.
T.
That's my preaching spill of the day.
Uncle T, you know why I had to find you because your influence is from here to Timbuktu, and she hit me with one of your T. Shelley-isms early on. I said, oh, that's my cue. I got to find the yellow man himself, see what gym he's in. Now, I know that we are in the season. 'Tis the season, bro, for our Merry Christmas.
What was it? What was the T. Shelley? You gonna tell me? And then, you know, like,
oh, the
like
T. Shelley-ism. She said you got it. Well,
so what?
Ryan, you hit him with the T. Shelley-ism.
Stay in your lane or you might miss your exit.
Yes, this is my favorite one. I was just having that. Like, stay in your lane so you don't miss your exit because you might get over and crash in somebody else's lane. You got a problem, you know. But yes, that is true. Because my car's in the shop right now because somebody didn't want to stay in their lane and drop something off the back of their hall or whatever. And these cars got all these new gadgets on it and knocked off my cruise control radar, Uncle Mike.
What?
So no more cruise control right now.
No cruise control because somebody didn't want to stay in their lane. But you know what? You're alive, you're good, and that's all we can hope for. You know what, Uncle T?
Yeah.
I know that this is the first year that we, unfortunately, have to do life without Mama Honey, Aquanetta Shelton, for Christmas, bro. I just want to continue to remind you that we love you and that.
So, hey, so you know what, though? Because you know I'm crazy. This is how crazy my mind works. You know, last year was actually harder than this year, right? One of my friends sent me this song that I posted on Facebook like It's by Something Crew or whatever. I don't even know the name of the song, but I played today, Start Crying Like a Big Baby. They got spanked by his mama. But it was actually probably harder last year to see her suffer, because nobody wants to see anybody suffer, whether their child or, their dog. And so it was hard seeing her, not be herself. But I will say this, Christmas Day, and I got to give a shout out to Shardette Wilson. And so Shardette came over. My mom had a brain aneurysm during the Cowboys game. I always talk about the dang Cowboys, messing up mama's life. But she kind of fed her and gave her, nutrition and, life water and crazy water. And so Christmas Day, I have a picture of her I'm going to post this year. She was actually smiling, and her and my dad on matching PJs. But she just wasn't herself, didn't wrap presents, couldn't do all that. So last year was actually, for me, and everybody's different, harder to see her suffering than to know she's in a better place right now, if that makes sense.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
So,
well, I know next week we will not be on air Christmas, and this is the season finale before we go on winter break. But, man, on behalf of Ryan and I and, East, West, West, East Production, the whole Flow Coach Ray team, we love you, and Merry Christmas, bro.
Hey, the name of the song, Scars in Heaven.
Scars in Heaven.
Scars in Heaven, and it just talks about, the only pain, the only scars you have are on the hands that hold you down in heaven. That's deep right there.
Amen.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I appreciate you guys, prayers and stuff like that. Been a crazy year between Biggie, my mom, grandmother, dad's best friend. But you know what? I always said this one time last year, and it came back to bite me in the booty. I never say it can't get any worse, because it can always get worse. So appreciate what you have right now.
Amen.
So,
well, we love you, Uncle T. Be safe. Get on that road.
Do your thing, young Mikey Mike. You know what? Your UCLA Bruins, congratulations.
Come on now.
They're rolling. I just thought about that, because I saw their colors kind of UCLA gold. They're purple. But your Bruins are like number 4 or 5 in the country or
Come
something
on,
like
baby.
that. Top 10 at least.
Come on, give it to me. Give it to me.
I just had to tell you that.
Give it to me.
Now, our Lakers, on the other hand, we'll talk about that later in February or March.
Hey, we'll talk about that later. But you know what? Them Bruins are rolling, and we love you.
But yeah.
Keep it moving.
All right, boy, have a good one. If you need some, holler.
All right, baby. That's Uncle Todd Shelton of the Texas Prep Report. And I tell you what, my folks, he's one of the greatest human beings that you could ever know. The guy is in the gym 24/7. And Ryan, I'll tell you, man, he is the true definition of a gym rat. And you know what? He spoke on our UCLA Bruins being the 4th-ranked team in the nation. So when we come back in the second half of the show, I got to dive into your college choices and just your ambition and expectations for that on that side. And also, I get a chance, and you do as well, to do life with one of your fellow peers in the class of 2025, and I'm talking about the number one ranked freshman in the state of Texas. You hear me? Hey, Aaliyah Chavez, she's coming on through. But right now, hey, second half of the show, right here on the Flow with Coach Ray, coming up.
Has a new TV series coming out called Blocked. Blocked is a suspenseful drama surrounding a young lady named April who is at war with herself, and with a cold heart, she shatters anyone who tries to mend any brokenness from her past. Life itself has dragged her through hell and back, and she's going to make sure that God himself feels her wrath. Blocked is a nail biter as it confronts many societal issues like church culture, molestation, hypocrisy, judgmental friends, and the inner turmoil of finding your own identity. Matter of fact, we have Antrice Jones, who is the director, the producer, and the writer of this brand new series in the studio with us today.
Hey everybody, it's me, Antrice Jones. Connect with us. Follow us on all social media platforms, Facebook, IG, LinkedIn, and Twitter. I look forward to connecting with you. Stay tuned for my new TV series, Blocked, coming soon to streaming services. Yes!
FBRN.US Fishbone Radio Network. Jump in.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention is working to help keep you and your community safe from the threat of novel or new coronavirus. Take the following everyday steps to help avoid the spread of all respiratory viruses. Wash your hands often with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. Cover your cough or sneeze with a tissue. Throw the tissue away and then wash your hands. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects or surfaces, such as remote controls and doorknobs. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. And stay home if you are sick. Call your healthcare provider if you develop fever, cough, or difficulty breathing. For more tips, visit cdc.gov.
Yeah, I mean, I miss you. It's been forever. I miss you a lot. It's like a little bit, but a lot.
Thanks, man. I actually gotta go. I gotta get inside to my daughter's friend's birthday party.
Whoa, hold on. A what?
A party.
Tell me what it's all for. When you get what you want and you still want more. In the end, you know that life story was. So baby, worry less. And celebrate more.
Jeez.
Are you alright, man?
Good.
It's all good, bro.
Just
clowning around.
Just a clown. What are you laughing at? You think that's funny?
Whoa,
Take that as disrespect.
Calm down, man.
It's all good, bro.
That's cool.
Andy, we're good.
Nah, you're right. There's kids here.
Yeah. Sit back down.
Celebrate. Whoa. Yeah. Top in the morning, took it from the other side. Yeah. Having a hand back, I could've swore I died. Yeah. Dodging depression, looking for a message. Facing my fears and hoping for a blessing. Telling my demons they can get the step, and I was lost. No, I was hiding. I was so divided. Chasing after wind, I couldn't hold it for it. Trying to get bigger bags, yeah. Trying to get what they had. Should've been holding back. Didn't know what I saw. Let's celebrate, yeah, let's celebrate, yeah. We gon' levitate, there'll be better days, yeah. Let it resonate, throw the stress away, yeah. Day, come on, baby, let's wake up and celebrate, come on. Celebrate one thing. Celebrate one thing. Celebrate one thing. Celebrate one thing. We gotta celebrate, 'cause 90 years over. We gonna do it good, my dog a year sober. I give online, don't judge me when I pass the church plate. All I want is the cake for my birthday. Yeah, was in the houses and opened the businesses. We went to college and finished it. Did a whole lot with a little bit. Yeah, if we take it out and we elevate, don't let your foot get cold. Looking at somebody else, so let's celebrate, let's celebrate. Yeah. We gon' levitate, there'll be better days. Yeah. Let it resonate, throw the stress away. Yeah. Though it's another day, come on, baby, let's wake up and celebrate. Tell me what it's all for. When you get what you want and you still want more. In the end, you know that life story was. So baby, worry less. And celebrate more. Celebrate more, ayy.
Back here live on the floor with Coach Ray, man. I tell you, that right there is Andy Mineo with Celebrate More, featuring Lecrae. And I tell you, we're celebrating on this show where sports and life collide. It's a special night on the season finale. I get a chance to do life with shooting guard, combo guard, extraordinary person. You know what? I can't even put you in a box like that. I get to do life with my number one Raya Ray. Raya, what's going on, baby girl? How you doing?
Good, I'm doing good.
Second half of the show, girl. You ready?
Yep.
It's time to put the full court press on their neck. You ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this half of the show, we got to dive in. We got to dive in. In the first half of the show, we talked about what are some of your goals from an athletic standpoint, from an academic standpoint. What do you want to do after high school? But now we got to dive into the sticky, icky situation of college life. Now, I got to talk to you about this because, we see more and more high-profile prospects, recruits, now choosing HBCU over the Power 5 schools, the Michigans, the Florida States. For instance, we just saw the number 2 recruit, Travis Hunter, turn down Florida State to sign with the I believe, Jackson State University under Coach Deion Sanders. Now, we see something like this. Immediately, we see haterism. And Raya, it's from adults hating on students, hating on somebody that's working their butt off to achieve a dream and a goal. What do you feel, and do you think it's right for an adult to hate on a child? Talk to me about that.
I don't think that it's right for an adult to hate on a child because if you think about it, they're just mad that the kid that they're hating on is succeeding more than they ever did as a child. And so saying somebody that works hard, doing everything that you were supposed to do, but you didn't do, so I guess that's a reason why they would hate.
Man,
yeah.
And one of the things that, is it cool though?
No.
Hey, well, do you know what a hater is? A hater is fuel. A hater is motivation. We get a lot of freshmen getting a lot of flack for playing too early. From a collegiate standpoint, rookies playing early on in the NFL, But when it comes to a recruit, this is the first time in a long time, in a while, we see HBCUs becoming are on the forefront of a college choice. You look at Mikey Williams, top recruit. He's already declared that he's going to go to HBCU. That leads me to ask you, what are some of your top? You know what? Just give me your top 5. Give me your top 5 colleges.
I would say number 1 would be LSU with Coach Kim Mulkey.
Oh.
Number 2 would be UConn with Coach Gino Auriemma.
Okay.
Number 3 would definitely be South Carolina.
Okay.
Coach Don Stanley. And then number 4 is definitely TCU with Coach Regan Peebley. And then UCLA is my 5th choice, with Coach Corey Close. So.
And you know what? Hey, I cannot think of a better top 5 than that. You know what I'm saying? And you spoke on programs with great coaches. Great coaches. What do you look for, in a coaching style? Like you talked about Kim Mulkey, then you talked about Coach Peebley, and then you talk about Don Staley of South Carolina. What are some of the things that you look for out of those coaches that fire you up?
I think that I want to play for a coach that can match my energy on the court. So if I'm playing good defense, if I'm shooting well, if I'm just playing well and I'm hyping my teammates up and I see my coach doing the exact same thing, that's something that I look for, somebody that's a leader not just on the court but off the court, and that's always changing the game for girls coming up, and seeing that out of Coach Don Stanley and Coach Kim Mulkey and Coach Regan Peebley, it's awesome to see that.
Man, and you know what, man? The girls' game is forever changed because of leaders like that. And is that something that you desire to do? Mm-hmm. In changing the game?
Of course, indeed.
Yeah, and like, if you could sit down, this is good. If you can sit down with anyone, at least 3 powerful people, who would they be and why?
In basketball or just people in general?
You know what? Let's use basketball for right now. If you could have dinner with three basketball players, who would they be and why?
Candace Parker, because she changed the game for girls like me. Coach Don Stanley, of course.
For South Carolina.
South Carolina. And then my last person would be...
Where's Alex from Jeopardy when you need him? Third person.
The last person that I would want to sit down is probably Coach Kim Mulkey. Because
Okay.
she's an intense coach, and she's just going to tell it to you how it is, and she's not going to sugarcoat anything. But at least half of the players that go and play for her either end up being successful or going to the WNBA. Same with Coach Dawn, so I think that's really good.
All right. You talked to me about the WNBA side. Now I got to jump into some of your favorite WNBA players. Let me know.
Oh, okay. I would say Sabrina Ionescu because of Kobe, Asia Wilson, and then
The reigning MVP out of the Aces. Yeah.
yes,
Okay.
and then of course Candace Parker to see how she left a powerhouse team to go change a team that's like her hometown, and she came home, and then they were ranked, I think, the lowest in their division, and then she went over there and she won a championship with them just in the mid-season.
Uh-huh.
So I think that's really cool to see.
So wait a minute. Are you telling me that one person can really make a difference in the locker room and on the court and change a team?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Is that something that you desire to do?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so Candace Parker. Now, this latest change in life, the NCAA, on the NCAA side. I said NCAA, the farm system, because pretty much that's what it is. The NIL change. Man, I see more and more now than ever young athletes signing endorsement deals. I gotta talk to you about this side, young lady. You know, if you could help promote or be a brand ambassador for any one product, what would they be in that? And I bring that to you. I know that's a general question that's kind of in the box, but I just recently saw Lexi Gordon sign with WWE to represent them. You know, and you know, that's an avenue a lot of people don't know, right? You know about the what's her name? The Banks girl, Sasha Banks.
Yeah.
Sasha Banks, Charlotte Flair. Woo! I ain't putting your business out there, but you know, I never would have expected Lexi Gordon to sign a deal with them, but it just goes to show you that avenues and opportunities are open up for college players and high school players. What's your girl's Juju? Who did she sign with?
Juju Wilkins.
Yeah.
Wilkins.
She signed with Spalding, if I'm not mistaken. But what does this mean to you as far as a future brand ambassador? What are some of the brands that you look forward to possibly reaching out to?
I would say Pedialyte because my parents like it. And
Pedialyte, huh?
Pedialyte because they always drink it, and I see like it just gives them energy, and they're like, "Oh, Pedialyte saved me again," and so I think that would be the biggest brand.
Man, you know what? What about let's say from who else besides Pedialyte? What are some of your like? What are some of the things that you love? Shoes?
Mm-hmm.
You love shoes? Like if you could, you know, we since Kobe passed away, we have recently found ourselves in a really tough predicament, looking for the right shoe. You know, one of the things I got to talk to you about. Give me a shoe review for Kyrie.
Oof.
Talk to me about the Kyrie shoes.
I mean, Kyrie's, like, every person's foot's different, so a shoe won't fit you the same like somebody else's shoe. So personally, for me, Kobe's fit really well on my shoes, and so like ever since he's died, I couldn't get a new pair, and so I wore Kyrie's, and they just killed my ankles. Ooh, yeah, and like it's not no hate to Kyrie. I think he's an awesome player, and I think that he's a leader in his generation for sure, and he's probably going to be in the Hall of Fame for sure.
If he can get back on the court.
If he can get back on the court. And I think that it always depends on, because the shoe isn't like fitting you, it's fitting the player that made the shoe. And so saying that.
So you telling me, basically what you telling me is we got to design you a shoe.
Yeah,
pretty much. Hey, I got an idea. You know, I'm just fishing, speaking things into existence, okay? You know, I know Vanessa Bryant, she took the Mamba logo and likeness and everything. You know, why not pitch something to Vanessa Bryant to see if you could be the first female to represent the new Mamba shoe? I'm just saying, speak things into existence, plant a seed. You feel me on that? Y'all think I'm crazy. You know it's your favorite crazy coach, but also I'm joined with Raya Ray, combo guard of Grace Prep Academy here in Arlington, shooting guard, point guard. She tries to do everything the right way. You know, Raya, man, I got to ask you this. When we talk about the game, who are some of the high schoolers, the upperclassmen that you are looking at right now to that you can take something away from their game? Like what girls are you looking up to on a national level?
Like high school level?
Yes.
Definitely Jada Williams. Mikey Williams and Amari Bailey.
Amari Bailey. Now you spoke on Amari, you spoke on Mikey, and man, you know they were just down here. Like when you see big events like the Hoop Fest, you know, because you submerge yourself into the culture outside, off the court. You know, when you see a huge event like Hoop Fest coming to town, what is that? How does that make you feel about the game of basketball, like high school basketball? Like you guys are drawing numbers, man. Like from the game, do you ever want to play on a big stage like that?
Yeah.
And what do you think that would a stage like that would help you with?
Definitely a confidence level, I think, because if I can see that I can play against the best people, then my confidence level would definitely go up, and that would help a lot.
I love it. I love it. And you know, one of the things that with I tell you this all the time, the girls' game is wide open right now. Wide open as far as there's so many opportunities for you guys out there. Man, the work that you put in really, really, really is a catalyst to allow you to see the goals that you have in front of you. And I got a chance to do life with Waxahachie Jr., an all-around amazing person and tremendous athlete, Colin McBride. And she talked to me about her journey. You know, I talked to you about high school, and I know that when it comes to this next level, you got to jump into the AAU world, okay? What are some of the programs that you are possibly excited about, you know, trying out for in the future? Or what are some of the programs that you want to even just, you want to test the water, see what you got? What are some of the programs that you think about right now?
I think my main program would be Pro Skills for sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What do you like about Pro Skills?
I like how they make their athletes like their number one priority, and how they put them on the spotlight, and how they believe in them, and how they're able to help them get to where they want to be and go to school.
You know what's funny? Before you even said that, you know, I was brainstorming, like, I know you're a student of the game. I know that first and foremost. And I'll never forget when you came to me, you said, Dad, I got to go EYBL. I got to go EYBL. And you know what? The Papa Bear in me, and just embracing and just seeing your life flash before my very eyes. You know, the Papa Bear in me worries, like, oh, is she ready? Is she ready? Is she ready? But then, you know what? When you came to me, I said, okay, she ready. She ready. She ready. She ready. All right. When you come to me with yourself and I didn't have to put that up on you, you know, that lets me know that you're taking the game serious and you really want to use this opportunity. So I'm looking forward to watching you pursue your dreams. You know, outside of, after you spoke on pro skills, you know, you ain't even speak about any other ones, you know, which it's all good. You know, hey, sounds like you got your mind made up. Now, what does the AAU game mean to you, though?
What does it mean to me?
Yeah.
That's a good question. I wasn't ready for that. What it means to me is that it's another opportunity for me to pursue my dreams and to get my name out there and get college coaches looking at me. And so being able to do that, I have to work hard, definitely, because it's not free. You definitely have to work for it. And so I don't want my parents to pay a lot of money just to see me on the bench. Like, I want to have an impact on my team. And so I definitely think that waiting until high school to do it definitely helped me prepare.
And you know what, man? I'll tell you what. If y'all could have seen my neck when she said it's definitely not for free, folks, she understands. She understands because the work you put in, look.
The way you practice is the way you play.
You doggone right. The way you practice is the way you play. Now, Raya, you spoke on not playing, having your parents at your game, and you not getting playing time. Hey, what do I always tell you pertaining to the moment?
To live in the moment.
Live in that moment. Live in that moment. How important is your energy when it comes to the game?
You know, your energy is very important to the game, and so if you have negative energy, well, if you have a good coach, they won't put up with it and they'll just bench you. And your energy affects your teammates around you, and so you always want to be a positive light towards your teammates. And just because, like, you don't have, just, you can be, like, sparks on different parts of the game. Like, you can be a good shooter and help your team, or you can be a good assists person and you can help your team, or you can be the defensive spark on your team and you can just help be a part of the team. That you can be that one piece that holds the team together.
Good night. Hey, you ever think about coaching?
Not really, but yeah.
So
I know at one point I'm gonna have to do it.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, look, man, you might have a future in coaching. Look, don't ask me. Don't shoot the messenger. All right? Do not shoot the messenger. And one of the things here on the Flow with Coach Ray, Raya, that I'm looking forward to doing towards the end of the show is our Crowns and Roses segment. You know what I'm saying? We get a chance to spotlight your purpose placers. You know, you wouldn't be here without this or that. I'm looking forward to getting to that segment of the show with you. But also, I want to dive with you. You're a young lady, and there's so many stigmas pertaining to the game of basketball. You know, females playing the game, image-wise. You know, how important is branding to you? And how do you deal with, you know, basketball from a nutritional standpoint pertaining to eating? I want to dive into that with you as well. But first, we're going to deal with Sir the Baptist on the Flow with Coach Ray. We come back, and I'll dive into that with you, okay?
Yeah, I mean, I miss you. It's been forever.
Mama say she gonna leave me. She pray the angels out of duty. She can't even read you. I'm on a sinner and I'm about to sin again tonight. You gon' have to forgive me, yeah. I'ma raise hell until I reach every door. You gon' have to forgive me, yeah. I'ma raise hell until I reach every door. Yeah. the music, come on. They just wanna dance, and I'm gonna let them, yeah. They just wanna dance, and I'm gonna let them, yeah.
Come on now. I love it, I love it, I love it. Back here on the floor with Coach Ray, that's my man, Sir the Baptist, leading us into the final segment of the show. Second half of the show, I'm joined by my girl, Raya Ray, Grace Prep freshman, class of 2025, shooting guard, point guard, all of the above. The girl just plays her butt off. She works her heart off. Oh, my goodness. Raya, you know, we've had a great show. Uncle Todd Shelton came through, and he graced us. You know, he's on the road everywhere around America trying to change the world through the game of basketball. And I love this moment. And understanding people like Todd, this is my favorite time of the show. My crowns and roses, crowns and roses, crowns and roses, crowns and roses. This is the moment where, you know, as I shared with you this past week, as we dive into this, I share with you that I lost my algebra teacher, Pat Skelly. And Raya, I share with you I would not be here right now without Pat Skelly being in my life. She taught me about acceptance. She taught me about love. She taught me a love for algebra. Okay, and believe it or not, all my folks, I'm just a kid from Long Beach, 2 Long Beaches in the country. Okay, Long Beach, California, Long Beach, Mississippi. I'm just a kid from the LBC. And I kid you not, Pat Skelly was a very amazing purpose placer for me because she's the only woman beside my mom that gave me a paddling or whooped my butt and brought me to tears. And I tell you, this was around the time where parents and teachers still had control of our kids, you know, when not corporal punishment, but, you know, when paddling was in effect. But I would not be here without not just her beating my backside, but her walking beside me, teaching me, loving me, getting me to believe in myself when I didn't have hope with just a math problem, pertaining to a math problem. You know, so Pat Skelly was one of my purpose placers in my life, and to her family and the kids that she impacted to the city of Long Beach, we lost a great leader. I love you, Pat. Thank you, Mama Skelly, for always believing in me and my peers, and I look forward to seeing you in heaven. I know where you are. I love you. So, Raya, man, it's your time, baby. It's your time. Your purpose places. You wouldn't be here without this person or that person. This is our Crowns and Roses segment. My dear, who would you like to spotlight as in your Crowns and Roses segment? You got the mic. Go ahead.
I would like to spotlight my mom and dad, of course, because without them I wouldn't be here, and they always pushed me and they always encouraged me. And like there are days that like I ask myself, can I do this? Like, can I be able, like, am I able to like accomplish my dreams? And they always keep me down to earth, and they always help me with everything that I want to do, and they're always positive, and they're never negative towards me. And I always see them working hard, so the way that they work, I try to work as hard on the court, and I hope that I'm doing them proud.
Oh my gosh. Hey, look here. I told you. Wasn't gonna be no shoo-shooing. All right? You trying to make me cry.
Did it work?
You know what, kid? I'm gonna share this with you. As I told you, and as a wise person shared with me, you're the greatest thing that could ever happen to me. I've gone through some hard times in life, horrible times, bad moments to where I did not want to be in that situation. You know, that literally has brought me to tears, to where I didn't believe in myself. And when I see you, I see everything right. I see everything right. And I know that I would not be the man that I am today, and I'm looking at you eye to eye, I know I wouldn't be the man that I am today without you. Always, always, always believing in me, loving me unconditionally, and reminding me to never give up. And you share with me, Dad, you never give up on me. You always believe in me. And when we have our tough conversations, I share with you, what can I do to help you? And when you share with me, don't ever let me give up. I received that call in my life, that challenge over my life, and I embrace it. And folks don't understand our relationship. They don't understand it at all. And I share with you guys out there, you won't understand it because you haven't walked through what we've walked through together. This young lady is a blessing, and I tell you guys this, and I mean it from the bottom of my heart, not because she's a part of me, but because of what I see out of her in her life. Kids like this, we got to embrace. We got to rally around. We got to encourage. We got to motivate. Well, you know what? We just got to remind them, hey, the world is yours, and you're already walking in your path. Just keep working hard. And I tell you guys this because there's so many young men and women like Raya out there that are doing the right thing, that are working their butt off, that are doing everything good in the classroom, that are being great pillars in their schools and their communities, and they face hate. They face hate from grown adults that look like you and I. And I'm reminded of this, my folks out there, as we go into this latter part of the year. 2021 is done. It's done. The biggest thing that I've learned through this year, and I try to remind her and what she helps me with, is owning your minutia, okay? Owning your decisions. Owning it and learning from them. In no way, shape, or form can we ever expect to change the world if we're not encouraging our young men and women to believe in themselves, to walk in their promise and walk in their purpose, even through their mistakes. If we continuously tear them down for our own instability or insecurity, shame on us. Shame on us. She will not be another statistic. She will break the mold because she's already broken the mold. And there are more young men and women like her. So I'm telling you this right now. If you stand in their way, you got to go through me and men and women like me. Okay? It's not happening. We will be there on the front line with them to remind them how powerful they are, to see them walk in that destiny. At the end of the day, that's why we're here. As we conclude 2021, I'm going to remind you, don't ever, 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 ever give up on yourself. This has been an amazing season with the Flow with Coach Ray. And I tell you, I'm so thankful that God has given us a platform. Raya, what's one of the biggest things that you've learned in 2021 as we prepare to sign off?
The biggest thing that I learned in 2021 is that not everybody's for you, and that there are people in your life that want to see you succeed, and there are people in your life that want to see you fail. And so being able to learn that at a young age, so in the future I know that there are people that want to see you succeed, and there are people that want to see you fail, and that not everybody in your life is meant to be in your life for a long time. And so knowing that at my age definitely helps, and that's the biggest thing that I've learned in 2021.
Girl, look here. Holy smokes. I can't, I always tell you not to say the C word, and I'll give you 20 push-ups. Actually, I'll knock out 50, okay? But I could not ask for a greater guest than you for my season finale of the Flow with Coach Ray, and Look, I told you I wasn't going to cry. I told you I wasn't going to break down and choke up. But as I sign off, man, I'm proud of you. I love you. And you're the greatest blessing that could ever happen to me. You understand? I want you to know that. I'm not ashamed to say it in front of the world that I love you, and I'm proud to call you my daughter. I'm proud to be your father, and I know that God is not finished with you. So as you go into this final part of 2021, lead the way you have, with a greater energy, with a greater purpose. You know, understand that this is your time. Run with it. Enjoy every moment. Embrace every moment. And I am thankful that I get an opportunity to see your life and how it pans out. I'm a fan, not just your dad. I'm a huge, huge, huge fan of yours. I love you, and I pray that you have an amazing Christmas.
I get to spend it with you.
Hey, I promise I'll try not to drive you crazy. I want to remind you guys, folks, over the break, if you're looking for a camp, Raise Your Game, Basketball and Sports Performance Training Academy is having Christmas camp December 20th through the 23rd. You can go to RYG Basketball and Sports Performance Training.org or CMRTTA.org right now to sign up. When I tell you guys, this is a great opportunity for your players to get involved and be led and taught by players like Raya, Morgan Linehan, and coaches like myself. You know, we want to pour into your kids. We want to pour into them from a skills standpoint and a mental standpoint. And I look forward to the opportunity that you guys provide. It's going down from 10 to 2 at the Bubble in Mansfield. Hey, come on, sign up. I hope to see you there. Until then, it's been a great 2021. I love you guys. Never give up on yourself. Always believe in your abilities. Control your energy, effort, and attitude in everything that you do. And just, bottom line, focus on what you can control. At the end of the day, God work it out. God will work it out. Keep your faith. It's your favorite crazy coach signing off. Go be the best versions of yourself. Bang, bang. I'm out. Happy New Year.
It's no days off. Take no breaks. You in my lane. You in my way. You cross that line. It ain't your day. I lost my mind. I need my spot. Get on my way. Forgiatos on the ties got me sitting high like a gladiator. Life on the line, cross the state line, straight face when I navigate.